Hey guys!
Welcome to the adventures. So today we're going to talk about how do you become an excellent, not just good, but excellent truck driver and have the best career possible.
Starts inside here. You got to care. You got to want to. You got to be. You got to have the desire to do it. You can't just go out here and hold the steering wheel and say, yeah, whatever.
So there's a lot of factors that really go into it, and so it starts with your heart, starts with your mind. It starts with time and dedication and focus and determination.
And hard work and practice.
Yeah, and so I know the big thing and the big push right now is these trucking schools that tell you can get your CDL in just 3 weeks and you can be on the road making all that money. Well, if you think that school is going to equip you with what you need to actually get out here and be successful and make that money, you're wrong, and your career will probably be short-lived unless you happen to be in the situation where you are a team driver and you have somebody with a lot of experience. So if you're husband and wife and you wives are going on the road with your husband and they have, a good 8 to 10 plus years on the road, then you probably have a really good shot. But if that's not your scenario, then you guys, that makes it really difficult. When I got my license, it took 3 months. He got to do it the ropes of the hard knocks.
I got grandfathered.
Yeah. So I've been driving for 17 years now, and I have a perfect career. I've never been charged with accidents or incidents, and I have driven well over 1 million miles. I think I'm about 1.5 million right now, and that's just solo. And then team driving, we never really kept track. But we know that in 2 years, we've driven 500,000 miles because we got this truck with 13 miles on it. So we know for sure, and we've been teaming for 9 years now. So we're well over 1 million miles as team drivers. And then
easy.
Yeah. And you've been driving?
36, 7, I don't know. I've had 2 accidents. One of them was not my fault. Lady was going through a curve and blew out a steer tire and just rolled right around the front of my truck. It kind of bent the bumper up. And another one, I was way out in the middle of Amish country with a 53-footer where I shouldn't have been, and I hit their mailbox. The tail swing kind of got the mailbox pulling out of their driveway. I didn't know it until I got back, and they're like, hey, you knocked out somebody's mailbox. And I'm like, I'm going to get fired.
Yeah, because we do come from a past from our career where every little thing you are held accountable for. So literally, if you were making a residential delivery or a business delivery and there was grass and you drove over the grass and you left tire ruts just by laying the grass down, that was an accident and you could lose your job over it.
And I ran into a situation not too long after I moved from Indiana, where they sent me down to California, Maryland. It's right down on the bay, and it was some kind of a teak wood that somebody was going to build a deck with. It was 10,000 pounds, and they wanted me to back over into their driveway in between these 2 concrete pillars, and I'm like, no, I cannot do that safely without risking damage to your property, so you have to come out here and get it.
So that's a good thing, is you have to be able to know when do you say, no, I'm not going to do that, because at the end of it, your company is most likely not going to back you, because that's going to cost them money, and that's not what they're a business for. That is not how a business makes money. And so know when to say, no, I'm not going to do that. That's not safe. I don't feel comfortable. My skill, my ability is just not there. So whether it's snowing or raining or whatever, if you need to stop the truck, make sure you do so, because really you have one shot to have an excellent career. You have one shot to get it right, and you don't need to push yourself and, cause an accident and ruin your career. Trucking really can be wide-reaching, and really understanding the skills and the ability to unload freight, if you have to unload freight, all of those things. And now we get lucky enough that we don't ever even have to bump a dock. Like, we never even back a trailer into a loading dock.
It's not really luck, it's a choice.
It's a choice.
It's kind of where we're choosing to be right now, and I'm choosing to be lazy, and I don't want to back into docks no more. So,
but how did we get here? And so, all of that stuff it matters, but it doesn't matter. We're just letting you know about our experience, how we've gone from LTL, local delivery, to on the road, to teaming on the road, and, having, over 50 years experience together and millions of miles driven. And really it came down to a program called the TDC, truck driving competitions. So here's the facts for drivers. And we are actually going to be competing this year. We have not competed. I haven't competed in
Pray for us.
10 years. He said 12 or 13 years for him, probably.
Yeah, it's been a
while. So this book is all of the facts, knowledge of trucking, its history, first aid, safety. So pretty much everything. The people that do truck driving competition. So how it works is you have to have 1 year safe driving for a year, and then you can compete at the state level. If you win first place at the state level, you go to nationals, and then there is one driver from every state that goes to the national competition, and may the best driver win. And so I have placed third. Scott has placed first and has gone to nationals. And so we like to call this little book the Bible of Trucking. And there is all kinds of information and knowledge in there. But they also highlight on a lot of programs. It's all about safety and how to maneuver your truck, how to have a good mindset. So it talks about programs with Volvo and Mack Truck that have invested a ton of money with programs that are called Share the Road, or ATA, which is the it's an elite driving club that truck drivers are a part of that represent America.
American Trucking Association.
Yeah, and so there has been all this money and studies and statistics and all of this stuff put out there to really help drivers become knowledgeable, become informed, know the facts, know the statistics. You can't just be an offensive driver, you have to be defensive. So you can't just say, I get cut off all the time, or this person was in my lane, so it wasn't my fault that I hit them. Well, were you not getting the big picture? Were you not paying attention to what's ahead? Could you not predict what was going to happen around you?
Did you not see that sniper?
So you really, all of this training and all of these programs, we have gone through so much specialized training and done these competitions, and that is what has gotten us to the next level and really being an excellent driver. So it has taken a lot of dedication. So what are we doing on our 34-hour reset? Well, right now we're spending time practicing for the competition. When we're driving, we're listening to this on an audio. When we're not driving, we're reading this. We really focus and be dedicated to be educated and informed, and then apply the knowledge that we learn. And so that's how we've gotten to an excellent career. And again, that's just years and years and years, time and time and time. And it's not because we haven't had close calls, because there has been lots of close calls. There's been lots of dangerous situations. We could go on and on about those stories, but we don't need to. You can just trust us. To me, that's just bragging and not coming across humble. We want to be as humble as possible and recognize. And that's also one of the keys is be willing to be humble and know your limits, and don't go around, saying I'm so great and look at me. And we honestly don't talk about our career very much, or our knowledge, but just know that we have a lot of expertise, a lot of knowledge and whatnot in the industry, and it has taken us time and dedication and focus and all those things, and that's followed up by all of the little things that we do. So every piece of advice we give supports being able to have an excellent career. So having a good sleep environment, eating well, sleeping well, just doing all the little things that we do equal the bigger why, and how we've had an excellent career. So, and
a lot of it goes into training too. She's done training for new employees. I've done training. I've done road tests. I've sat on a safety review board. And let me tell you, if an accident comes to a safety review board, you have about that much chance of overturning it, because there is so many ways that a driver can be held responsible for the accident. And there are a lot of them that I wish never happened, but there's not much of a chance of you overturning an accident.
Yeah. I mean, it comes down to, you guys are the professionals, you have specialized training in it, and you are going to be held accountable. When you say you signed up to do a job, make sure you can do the job, and make sure you're going to do it well. You guys, I hope that is helpful for you guys, and I hope that you guys want to have a desire to be not just a good driver, not a steering wheel holder, but an excellent driver, and that you work for the Lord, not for man, and that you remember to have all of those character qualities that are Jesus-like so that you can have an excellent career. You guys be safe and enjoy the adventures.
Bye.